Good morning, viewers. Welcome to NOA River State Dialogue. I'm your host, Esanjumi Richard Halliday. This program is streamed live every Friday on Facebook at 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And on this forum, we communicate government policies, programs, and activities to citizens and entertain feedback and support for these programs, policies, and activities. Presently, we live in a digital world surrounded by a deluge of information. The internet has made us more connected like never before. And anywhere there's a threat, it is a threat everywhere. We're going to take up a topic this morning titled Social Media and National Development. And with me here to discuss this is Mr. Taylor Harry. He is in charge of special duties and local government operations. Anyway, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the program.
I also have here with me Mr. Chinwe Opara. He's the PRO of the agency.
Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the program.
Welcome. Remember, you can send in your comments, questions, and suggestions on this program. Now, Mr. Taylor Harry, what is the relationship between social media and national development?
Let me give a brief synopsis of what social media platform is. These are platforms to create and exchange users-generated content. They can be broadly classified into four main groups. We have the social networking site. Here we have the popular Facebook, we have the Google, we have the LinkedIn. Then we have the micro-blogging site where you have Twitter and Tumblr. We also have photo sharing site where you have Snapchat, Instagram, and Pinterest. Then we have, of course, we have the video site where you have the popular YouTube and Facebook Live. The unique features of this platform is that they are a store of information. They send message instantly. They are cheaper to access. You don't spend much to access it. Just a matter of 100 or 200 data, you access it. Then they cover a lot of persons. So remember, I said they are a store of information, and they say information is power. So if you have this platform that stores information, that shares information, you can imagine the enormous potential this platform can offer.
Okay.
Presently, in the country, economically, most private companies, even government agencies, economic activities are driven on this social media platform or on the internet.
Okay.
Banks do virtually most of their businesses on the net. We have application where you don't need to go to bank in most cases.
Okay.
Private businesses sell their products, also sell their services on the social media or the internet. We hear of you can stay in the house and call for a taxi to come and pick you.
Okay.
So that's an economic advantage of the social media. Then politically, it has helped in the growth of our democratic culture. Politicians use it to sell their ideology and their programs and activities. Remember, democracy involves popular participation, and through the social media, you can use it, and it's being used to mobilize people for active political participation. Socially, it's a veritable tool for national cohesion, creating a peaceful environment, helping in building an harmonious society. So the good use, the importance of social media in national development cannot be overemphasized.
Okay. Now, from what he has said, it means that social media is almost an avoidable thing in our society now. But can we trust every news on social media?
Yes, in line with what he has said, we cannot undermine the importance of social media in national development.
Okay.
Yeah, because social media has to do with human activity.
Okay.
It has to do with human activities. So if properly used, it can be used to convey messages that has to do with healthcare, messages that has to do with poverty reduction, messages that has to do with socio-economic and cultural development. So when you look at national development also has to do with those activities that leads to the full realization of human and environmental potentials. So that is why we must be conscious of the kind of activities we carry out on social media. So because if we carry out activities like fake news, it then means that these activities will be antithetical to socio-political and economic development. It will retard our national development. So it is not all stories, informations, or news that are on social media that can be trusted.
Okay, now you talked about fake news.
Yes.
Is it a threat to our nation? Is fake news a threat to our nation?
Yes.
So how is it a threat to our nation? Because out there, you can do a lot of things on social media. People can, like you have mentioned, Mr. Telohari has mentioned, the good parts of it in the economy, politically, different things, that there are good things you can get from it. But you've talked about fake news.
Yes.
Is it a threat to our nation today?
Yes, talking about the fake news. Fake news has to do with untrue stories, untrue informations that are targeted on a particular, individual, group of persons, or an entity with a view of achieving a particular purpose of the sender. Right? So when you say fake news has very negative implication on our economy. It has a very negative implication on national development. Now look at the security. Fake news could lead to distrust. Fake news could lead to violence. Fake news could lead to community crisis. Fake news could lead to even fraud. Right? So we have to be careful. When you look at it economically, in the area of commerce, fake news also have very negative implication on the economy. Right? Because fake news can discourage foreign investors, foreign investment. Right? When you are in a society, in a country where people spread fake news, there is bound to be political tension. There is bound to be a community crisis. Tension everywhere. So the possibility that investors would not want to invest in such economy is here. And that is why we have to be careful. Then also in the area of commerce. You see, I keep telling people, fake news is not just targeted to the government or our political leaders. Facebook is targeted to everybody, including the traders in the marketplaces. Fake news, right? So we all hands must be on deck to ensure that we put a stop to fake news.
Mr. Chinwe Okpara has said a lot about fake news. How it can be a threat to a nation, like economically, politically, can also raise conflicts in societies. It's indeed a source of concern because of its impact right now. And we have also come to know, like even with your first response, that fake news spreads like fire, faster than the real news. So I like to ask, how can people identify this fake news and stop it?
Let me start by identifying the tools for spreading fake news. We have video. I did mention about YouTube. Those video facilities. Platforms that cover video facilities. We have photos. Platforms that render sharing of photos. We talk of Photoshop and the rest of them. Can be used to manipulate pictorial evidence. We also have tweets. Somebody can tweet a lie, can cause disharmony amongst neighbor, not only neighbor, even between communities or intra-community crisis. And of course, articles we publish, write, and post on the social media platform. Those are the tools we use in spreading fake and misinformation.
Okay.
Now, coming to identifying what fake news, what are fake news, is what is true and what is lie about it.
Okay.
First, you have to be skeptical. Interrogate every news you read on the social media platform.
Okay.
You interrogate them. Where is this news coming from? What is the purpose of this news? When was this news published? Has any mainstream media or reputable site published this news? These are questions you use to interrogate yourself. By the time you interrogate yourself, at least you come to realization that I need to verify this information before I send it. It's not just you see a post because of your bias and emotional alignment, you share it immediately. Posting, sharing of news shows an aspect of your personality. Unnecessary sharing of news shows an aspect of your personality.
Okay.
Maybe, probably the person might be suffering from low self-esteem, or the person might be an introvert who just want to be noticed.
Okay.
Have that in mind. So, when after you must have interrogated yourself this question, you go to reputable sites for verification. Okay. Google is there, Wikipedia is there.
Okay.
Then you also search if any reputable papers that bear consequences that can be sued.
Okay.
We will go there. Is that news there? Is this news there? We check. You also check link, reputable link. Let me tell you, every day on the internet, millions of sites are open for people. Some are open for fun. They call it parody account, just to make fun, make sarcastic. And if you are not very conversant, you see somebody make a statement there, you think is the person. No. So you check if that site, that link you are sourcing for the story is a genuine link. Then we all know Google is our friend.
Okay. Yeah.
Google.
Mm-hmm.
Don't joke with Google. Google, at least Google is one of the reputable sites to verify news or information.
Okay. Viewers, you can start sending in your comments, questions, and suggestions. Before we go on, I'd like to take in some comments. I'd like to read some of the comments. We have from Mr. Aronleye Briggs. Thank you for streaming live with us. He says social media, if well utilized, has the potential to develop positively any nation, Nigeria inclusive. And he says, well done anyway. Thank you, Mr. Briggs. I also have from Blessing Jumbo. She says social media is a veritable tool for national development. We mentioned it here, that its importance cannot be overemphasized. Yes, there's so much that social media can contribute to national development. We also have Tiedong Echo here. She said that fake news is targeted to everyone. No one is left out. So it depends on what news, like you heard from our speakers today. And I also have from Rosemary Abehat. She said fake news is dangerous and should be avoided for our country to develop. Yes, it has negative spread of fake news. It has negative impact on the development of every nation. We also have from Mr. Obaro. He says social media should create connections, not conflicts. Yes. You know, that's the good part of it. Yes. Connections are not conflict. It's our collective responsibility to truncate the spread of fake news wherever and whenever it is found. Kudos to NOA. It's the same thing we are saying here. It is everyone's responsibility, like you have said, to stop the spread of fake news. Now, I'd like to ask you, Mr. Chinwe, we have talked about fake news. It spreads like wildfire. It is spreading so much in our society today. What has NOA done to curb it?
Yes, Thank you very much, madam. It is the responsibility, it is the mandate of the National Orientation Agency to educate, conscientize, sensitize, and mobilize the people on government policies and programs. And in line with this, it is also the mandate, of the National Orientation Agency to arouse the consciousness of the people against those activities that are antithetical to socio-political and economic development. So in line with this mandate, the National Orientation Agency has been carrying a sensitization campaign against fake news. Now, early this month, we had a sensitization campaign on Freedom of Information Act, where we sensitize the people on the need to access information in government ministries, departments, and agencies. Because one thing we have discovered is that the non-access to information is another cause of spreading of fake news. People must have access to information. That is why the agency carried out that sensitization campaign on Freedom of Information Act. Again, the agency before now have been carrying out sensitization campaign in schools, where we talk about the value system on the need for people to cultivate and encapsulate as well as internalize our core values. Because when you are talking about patriotism, when you are talking about honesty, an honest citizen, a patriotic citizen cannot share fake news. Because you know that the interest of the state is at hand. Because you know that fake news leads to distrust. You know that fake news leads to disintegration. You know that fake news leads to conflict and violence. So if you are patriotic, there is no way you will indulge in sharing of fake news. So that is why the agency hold this particular aspect of sensitization to a very high esteem. Our chief orientation and mobilization officers in the various local government visit schools, teach students on the need to cherish our core values. It is very, very important. And again, before now, we don't have the coronavirus pandemic. We have embarked on a program titled Building a People of Peace. Together we can overcome the COVID-19. Where we also emphasize on fake news and the health sector with regards to COVID-19. During the COVID-19 pandemic, there were a lot of fake news. People carry news that if you take alcohol, it can prevent the coronavirus. A lot of people were indulging in such act. If you take bleach, if you take this, it brings cure. If you cure the coronavirus, if you take herbs, including different herbs and all those stuff. So the agency did not hesitate. We embarked on this sensitization campaign to sensitize the people on the effect or impact of fake news on our health system. So we have carried out a lot of campaign. The agency in that area has done well.
Okay, so kudos to NOA. Now I'd like to come to you, Mr. Taylor Harry. He has talked about a lot of things, what fake news results in. Now, to a social media consumer that has come in contact with fake news or a news that seeks to misinform, what should the social media consumer do?
I've already laid a little bit of foundation on how to check or verify if a news is fake or not. First, the person should take responsibility. Don't share any news you see. And no, when you become addicted to social media, the tendency is for you to share on impulse any news. You want to please, maybe you want to please your friend at your social media savvy. Let me post this, I heard this, no, I heard this news, let me share it. No, you should take responsibility. Not only taking responsibility for not sharing social media, you should also be involved. Flag it. I'm not sure of this news. Ask the person, the source, where did you get this news? This news is not true. Something happened in Cameroon. you take a snapshot, bring the video of that visit, because similar thing happen in Nigeria or it's about to happen. You take a snapshot, bring the video, go to the internet, snap the picture, bring it, and start sharing it. That this is what is happening. You know, presently that is what is happening. What people are doing, making mischief, being mischievous over issues that ordinarily will not cause problem, but because of their mischievous intent to foment problem, people now share this thing. I know. Let me tell our viewers and the audience that sharing of news does not add anything to your self-esteem.
Yeah.
It rather shows the type of person you are. People think when you share news, you boost their personality. No. It backfires at times, because when you share any and every news, people now look down on you, that begin to assess your level of intelligence. So please, before you share a news, ask yourself, is this news worth sharing? Is it true? Why am I sharing it? Don't allow your personal bias and emotion to influence your behavior when it comes to sharing of news.
Okay, thank you, Mr. You want to add to that?
Let me add to that. Anyway, you know, when you see, as a patriotic citizen, when you come across fake news, you don't keep mute.
Okay.
Because when you keep mute, it means you have legitimized the spread of that fake news.
Okay.
News.
Okay.
You have to also do something.
Okay.
So you have to say something, have to put an inscription on that listing.
Okay.
This is fake news.
Okay, like in the comment section.
This is fake news there.
Okay.
That should be your contribution to nation building.
Okay. Now I'd like to read some more comments. A lot of them are coming in, so let me take them. I have from Ebere Ifoma Ezimora. She says, I think she's a she. She says the top carriers of fake news students. I'm going to ask if that is true. The top carriers of fake news are the young people, students, who have access to most common media handles like WhatsApp, Facebook. So it is advisable that the students are being enlightened and sensitized in schools to cop fake news. Anyway, it's going around schools. We have our community orientation and mobilization officers in all the local government areas in Nigeria that are presently taking on this issue, you know, talking about fake news. You know, I'm going to come to that. She's saying top carriers of fake news are the young people. But let me read other comments coming in. I have from Mr. Bekimbo Williams. He says social media is part of life globally. You can't do without it, but caution is required. Okay, caution is required. Okay, then I have from Ntiedong again. Well done, commending NOA River State. I have from Cape Jika Grace. Make sure you verify before sharing. Yes, everybody is talking about it. Make sure you verify information before clicking on your share button. I have from Mr. Young Ayotamino. He says fake news is deadlier than any pandemic. Totally flee from it. Fake news has caused conflict in communities and has led to communities fighting, not knowing that that particular information is wrong, it's fake. So let us flee from it. Emmanuel Philip commending NOA, thank you very much. I have from Arolaye Briggs. He says, what are the indices in identifying fake news? You're going to talk about it. Secondly, are there punitive measures taken by government to the carriers of fake news? Are there punitive measures presently, you know, taken to punish the carriers of fake news? I have Blessing Jumbo here. If a country does not stop fake news will destroy that country. So verify every information. Your comments and advice, suggestions. I have for Bibiba Priestfield, the social media I would say is a necessary evil. There are good sides of it where relevant information are gotten. The evil side side of it where we spread fake news, which is an ill to our society. The NOA officers in the local government areas have a lot to do. Yes, I agree, and they are on it, that they have a lot to do on fake news enlightenment. So let the race continue. Yes, I know our officers are out there racing on the field to curb fake news. So make sure you verify every information. I also have here from people should verify their information before posting.
Yes.
Otherwise, it can lead to arrest. That's what we are saying. It can lead to arrest. Result in civil war. So let's stop it. Like somebody mentioned that this fake news is spread mostly by young people. Do you agree? Do you agree?
To an extent, I agree. But sometimes you be baffled that people that share fake news are people you hold in high esteem.
Yes.
People you regard very well.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that has attained a very high position in society, we just share. There was an incident. I asked the person, I don't want to mention the person. I asked the person, are you sure? Where is this news? Why are you sharing this? He said, they shared it to me. I said, they shared it to you. Why are you sharing it? In fact, the way you understand the issue. He said, no, that's how they share. I said, please, it's not good. It's not fair.
Okay.
So, it's not per se that young ones are the main people that spread fake news.
Okay.
Everybody, we are all involved. But I think what the contributor is emphasizing that we should start with the young ones. They are leaders of tomorrow.
Okay.
So if they imbibe this habit of sharing, misinforming, and information, giving false information, it will become part and parcel of them. So it's better we concentrate on this people.
Okay.
And their mind is just like a clean slate. They don't have the ability to analyze or look at issue critically. So let's us concentrate on them. That's a very good contribution. Concentrate on schools, children, and listen, and tell them how to identify fake news and how not to share news any news that come their way.
Okay. So can you add to that?
Well,
can you see our young people and the ones spreading the fake news?
He have said it all. Spreading of fake, I think everybody is involved. You'll be surprised. A learned person spreads fake news.
I had that experience today. I was on one of the social media platforms, and a contact, posted something, and I was so shocked that somebody like this, like he said, you will be surprised the kind of people who you do not, expect will do this kind of thing. And then I'm happy that somebody commented there, that please, this is fake news. So that, like he said, you said that in one of your responses, that we should voice it out. Don't keep mute. Flag it. And say it is fake news. Okay.
There is also an opportunity offered by various platforms. You can flag it and send it to the operators or custodian of the platform.
Okay.
Report it. There is a format where you can report that news that are not true. So immediately check it and flag it down.
Okay.
But on your part, you should voice it out. How do you voice it out? Under it, the comment section. This is fake news.
Okay.
If you are close to the person, maybe you don't want to embarrass the person, inbox the person.
Okay.
Send a message, inbox message to the person. Please, what you posted on our WhatsApp platform or this is false. Can you delete it?
Okay. Okay, now I have a comment. Don't Echo is calling for an extension of this program. 30 minutes is too short. The management is going to look into it. Yes, we have been hearing and getting a lot of feedback from people saying that 30 minutes is too short for this program, so we will look into it. Thank you for your comment. One last one to our viewers. For Mr. Taylor Harry, please.
Well, the urge to share news is so much.
Okay.
Then I know lack of information, access of information also encourages the spread of fake news.
Okay.
So for government policymakers, I advise we take good use of the Freedom of Information Act.
Okay.
On our part, National Electoral Agency, we've gone on advocacy visit to various government organizations to set up an active FOI desk office. So the public should make themselves available to this very important initiative for people to access government information and records. Okay. It's free. It's good there. Yeah. Within a tickle of maybe 2-3 or few days, you get the information you want. Yeah. And for government official, please don't allow the official secrecy oath to restrain you from giving out information that ordinarily you should give out. Okay. You should give out information. Okay. People want to know. Where you don't give information, people tend to go for fake.
Yeah, for fake news. Okay, one last one, Mr. Chinwe.
Well, as citizens of Nigeria, we should allow our values of patriotism, values of honesty to guide our actions, our activities on social media. Do not spread fake news.
Yes.
Thank you. Do not spread fake news. Thank you, Mr. Taylor Harry. Thank you, Mr. Chinwe Opara. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for streaming live with us today. Do not spread fake news. To catch up on previous editions, go to our YouTube channel, NOA Rivers State, and click on the subscribe button. This program will be streamed live again on Friday, 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. We're going to be bringing in another important topic, and that is hate speech. You would want to know what hate speech is and how to stop it. Thank you again for viewing live with us, for streaming live with us. Remember, COVID-19 is real. Take responsibility for your actions. National Orientation Agency, Rivers State.